Glassboro has been perfect for the past 2 seasons, but will only accept walking off the field today as a champion.
We gotta come out like it's the Super Bowl. We guys gotta be fired up.
All the stakes are for 48 minutes. Everything we've done previous this year is over. This is a one-game series.
Paulsboro has also been perfect, but knows this game will determine this century's final champion.
We'll be pumped up from the opening whistle, opening kickoff. We'll be ready.
Anytime you play a championship game, it's always a big game. It's a real big ball game when you face the kind of team that Glassboro is with the caliber athletes they have and, great coaching staff. It's a real challenge for us.
The game you've waited for is finally here.
There, 3rd and 7. Oh, it's Eli again, and hello.
Got with the pitch, cutting it back inside, and he is hammered. Slides off one tackle, off another with the turn on his feet. Down. About the 13.
From Paulsboro High School, Comcast Cablevision presents the NJSIAA Group 1 Sectional Championship football game. Today, the visiting Bulldogs of Glassboro High, they're undefeated against the also undefeated Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School. This game brought to you in part by Pandolfo Chiropractic and Thoroughfare. Get back to health with Pandolfo Chiropractic. And by the McBride Foley Funeral Home in Paulsboro, serving all faiths with respect. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Shryrock along with Shawn, Leary. A cold day at Paulsboro High School, but everybody warmed up for this one. Could be one of the best high school football games ever in Gloucester County. Glassboro, the defending sectional champion, he won 5 times. They have a 22-game winning streak, the longest currently in the state of New Jersey. And the Red Raiders, they won more championships than anybody ever. They won 11. They haven't been back for 3 years, but this one gearing up, Shawn, Leary, is absolutely one of the best games we've ever had here. And how about this Glassboro football team? 22 in a row. They're rolling, one of the best offenses in all of South Jersey, Shawn.
That's right. They have an incredible offense led by Sakeen Wright, the storied quarterback who came back from a tumor, went back in for 2 years, and has put up some great numbers, 27 career touchdown passes. He's just an outstanding quarterback, 27 this year. But really what makes the Glassboro offense tick is a guy named Kevin Evans, who sat last year behind Julian Worley, the storied running back from Glassboro High School, who made quite a name for himself. But Kevin Evans is the real deal. If you don't wrap this guy up, he's in the clear. Touchdown. He's a touchdown maker and a big playmaker.
Glassboro was some of the best skill position players, I guess, ever in this county, Shawn, and we're going to see 3 of them today. How about this Paulsboro team? Bounced back from a couple of what are considered off years for Paulsboro, great years for anybody else. They've got a sophomore, Isaac Redmond, one of the best players in South Jersey. They keep coming up with these great underclassmen, Shawn.
Right. He's the cousin of Kevin Harvey, who, as everybody remembers, one of the best quarterbacks in the state of New Jersey. Isaac Redmond has all the skills necessary to be an outstanding running back. He has the power to run people over. He also has the breakaway speed to make big plays. Isaac Redmond is the real deal. They're going to need him to have a big game today against Glassboro. Remember, he's only a sophomore.
2 high-powered offenses, Shawn. Some people think this game may come down to Paulsboro's defense, which may be a little stronger than Glassboro's.
Yeah, I think the deciding factor in this game is going to be in the trenches. Both teams have great skilled position players, but the team who's going to really control the time, the clock, the line of scrimmage, I think is going to be the winner of this game.
Okay, we could have a great one today. Undefeated Paulsboro, undefeated Glassboro. Don't go away. Bob Shryrock with Shawn Leary at Paulsboro High School. Battle of the unbeaten. Shawn, the keys to this football game.
Yeah, I think Glassboro needs to do 3 things in order to win this game. The first thing they need to do is remain patient. They're not going to be able to get the quick strike like they're normally doing in the Classic Division. This Paulsboro team's tough, and they have the athletic ability to stay with them. They have to give Wright time to pass. One thing they have to do is give him time to set up in the pocket and try to find Holmes, Anuko, Darren Lewis over the middle. On the defensive side of the ball, they have to wrap up Redmond. This guy breaks a lot of tackles, so if you don't wrap him up, he's going to break a couple tackles and make the big play. On the other side for Paulsboro, 3 key things. They have to control the line, control the time, keep the tempo, try to keep Wright on the sidelines. They also have to keep Wright going north and south. Once he goes east and west, that's where he makes his big plays and gives those receivers time to get open over the middle. And they have to not give up on the play. A lot of times, Wright will make things happen and get out of tackles and then hit the quick strike over the middle to Terrence Holmes. Everybody has to stay in their lanes and make sure that they're constantly going after them. Don't think your teammate has Wright wrapped up, because he'll escape and make the big play there.
Okay, big crowd on hand for this football game. 2 of the best kickers in South Jersey in this contest today. James Funk kicking off for Paulsboro, the deep men for Glassboro back at their own goal line. 2 of the outstanding players in this Glassboro team, Kevin Evans, along with Terrence Holmes, the great junior. We expect a high-scoring football game. This for the Group 1 championship. 2 teams that have met many, many times before. Paulsboro looking for win number 12 in the final, and Glassboro number 6. Good kickoff taken on one bounce at the 2-yard line by Holmes. Holmes trying to get to the outside, good coverage downfield, and they'll pin Glassboro pretty deep in its own territory, so not very good starting position for the Bulldogs with the opening kickoff.
I think that's one of the places that Paulsboro has an advantage, Bob, is the special teams. Terrence Holmes is a nice kicker. He's a nice place kicker, has a nice job, does a nice job there, but James Funk has an outstanding foot. And if you can remember in '97, when Reggie Lewis hit that big field goal, we'll see if James Funk also becomes a factor in this game.
Good indication there of the size of the crowd accumulating here at Paulsboro High School. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Bulldogs, with Sakeen Wright, the all-South Jersey quarterback, at the controls. A handoff right up the middle to Evans, and not much against that solid interior of the Paulsboro line. Might have gotten a yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs on the first possession of the football game. Glenn Howard, one of the winningest coaches in South Jersey history in terms of percentage, 126 wins, only 22 losses, and he's been a great player here at Paulsboro, and now a terrific coach. And now let's take a look at the starting Glassboro offense.
Starting offense for Glassboro. At quarterback, you got Sakeen Wright. Fullback, you got Chris Waters. Halfback, Kevin Evans. The wide receivers are T. Holmes, just Terrence Holmes, and myself, Matt Anuko. And at tight end, you got Darren Lewis. The tackles are Jason Rowland and Isaac Chapman. The guards are Gary Holmes and Ed Bogard. And at the center, you got Greg Keith.
So it's 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs. I think this is a delay of game penalty against Glassboro. They were a long time coming out, and it is. So I don't know what took them so long to get out for that play, Shawn, but that'll cost them 5. And it's not a good position on the field to be backed up another 5 yards.
Dead ball foul, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Time to look at the starting defense for Paulsboro High School.
At defensive end, we have Mike Mendenhall and Joe Tropia. D-tackle, we have Tom Curl and Derek Bear Holloway. Nose guard, Billy Damask. At linebacker, myself, Ryan Kelly, and Tom Giorgiani. At cornerbacks, we have Lionel Sharper and Karis Cooper. Strong safety, Preston Polson, and a free safety, Brian Webster.
So it's 2nd down and 14 for the Bulldogs. Wright chased out of the pocket, fires it, and it's intercepted. Intercepted at about the 17-yard line, and the first big break of the football game goes Paulsboro's way. The interception by Sharper, Lionel Sharper of Paulsboro, and just like that, the Red Raiders in great position deep in Glassboro territory. An ill-advised throw by Sakeen Wright.
It was ill-advised. He was trying to look for his fullback coming out of the backfield. It looked like Chris Waters. They'll decline that penalty, and Paulsboro will take over. That's one of the things people talking about this game and how big it is the team who makes the less amount of mistakes throughout the game and gives the other team great field position early in this game, advantage to Paulsboro.
Brian Webster at the controls. He's been kind of an unsung hero on this Paulsboro team all year. They'll start from the 17-yard line with a 1st and 10. And the handoff to Redmond, and he gets very little. Now the starting offense for the Paulsboro Red Raiders.
Quarterback for Paulsboro High School, Brian Webster. At tailback, we have sophomore Isaac Redmond. At fullback, we have senior David Paterna. At wide receiver, we have senior T.L. Lonnie Hampton. At wide receiver, we have junior David Giles. At tight end, we have junior Mikey Mendenhall. At our 2 tackles, we have Big Exposito and Ryan Kelly. At our 2 guards, we have Joe Tropy and Tom Curl. And at our center, we have Billy Davis.
So the first big break of the football game goes Paulsboro's way on the sharper interception of a Sakeen Wright pass. And of course, one of the things about Sakeen Wright, Shawn, is his percentage, his ratio of touchdown passes to interceptions, which is extraordinary for a high school quarterback. Paterna inside, gets a good hit by Glassboro's Raheem Gaines. Good tackle by Gaines, and another short gainer for the Red Raiders to about the 13-yard line, which will create about a 3rd down and 7. Glassboro's defense a little bit underrated. You hear all about the vaunted Glassboro offense, but their defense has had a very good season as well. Let's set the players for the Glassboro High School defense.
Defensive ends, Ross, otherwise, Rashawn Pruitt. We got Charles Harvey, the Rev, you know what I'm saying? We got the tackles, Ed Bogard. We got Greg Keefe. At nose, we got Keith Oswald. Now to the linebackers, we have Raheem Gaines and Shamar Robinson. Now we want to go to the secondary. We got the corners, Ralph McBride, McDonald's. We got Kevin Evans, number 6. And we got me, myself, T2 at strong safety, and Jerome Hughes at free safety.
Right now they're trying to attack that interior defense against Greg Keith Oswald, and that Bugard. So far they're coming up to the task.
3rd down and 7. Option pitch to Redmond. Redmond has a hole. Redmond heading to the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown on a great option pitch by Webster, and a 13-yard touchdown run by Redmond for the touchdown at the 9-minute 48 mark of the first period. Just like that, the Red Raiders, with the first score of the football game, they lead at 6-0, and Webster's pitch made that play, Shawn.
Yeah, it sure did. He waited for the exact time that he was going to get hit to kick that out, and then Redmond followed his fullback, Dave Paterna, right into the end zone.
Funk trying to make it 7-0. Boy, he's a great kicker. That one would have been about a 50-yard field goal, 7-0.
I want you to watch Dave Paterna here. Webster waits for the pitch the right time, right before he's hit, and then Redmond's going to follow. There you see fullback Dave Paterna kick the block out, and with Redmond speed, goes into the end zone, gives Paulsboro, now with the extra point, a 7-0 lead.
So the turnover created by Sharper's interception sets up Paulsboro at the 17-yard line. Take it in 3 plays, with Redmond covering the last 13 yards on a run. And it's 7-0 Paulsboro. Paulsboro has won 11 sectional championships. That's more than any school in South Jersey history. Glassboro has won 5, and they are the defending champions. And this has been a much ballyhooed football game that's off to an electric start.
Now, early in this game, Bob, I think it's going to be important to find out how Glassboro responds. They're not used to being down. They've really blown a lot of teams out during this 22-game win streak, and they haven't really battled against adversity. The only time they've done it, though, was 2 weeks ago against Gloucester, who was able to get up on them, and they responded and ended up winning that game to get to this championship final. So it's going to be interesting to see how Glassboro responds. And remember, I think they have to stay patient and not try to make something happen out of nothing.
Funk kicking off for the second time in 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and this one is through the end zone. And I tell you don't see a leg like that very often in high school football, as Funk kicks it right through the end zone. It'll come out to the 20 of Glassboro, 1st and 10.
And he's fun to watch on a high school level, to see a kid like that be able to put the ball into the end zone and really back Glassboro up and not let those guys like Terrence Holmes come off and try to break a long one.
Of course, Dominic Antonini, the former great kicker at Glassboro State, now Rowan University, the special teams coach here at Paulsboro, and he thinks Funk's going to be a great kicker.
Yeah, he really has worked with him.
Right with the back split, 1st down and 10 from the 20. And the handoff Evans with a short gainer of about maybe a yard, 2nd down and 9. So Glassboro in the early going here in the first period, having some difficulty against that interior defense of the Red Raiders.
Now, I think what Glassboro is trying to do right now is trying to establish a run up the middle, try to push everybody in, and then use those athletes to get outside and get the big gainers.
So it's 2nd down and 9, ball at the 21, backs again split behind right. Right, rolling right. Great scrambling a bit, batted down by Mendenhall, the all-South Jersey tight end defensive end for Paulsboro. A great junior, but he bats that ball down.
He's 6'2", 210 pounds. As you said, just a junior, an outstanding athlete, also a really good wrestler, Bob. He was able to get outside and just do what defensive ends are supposed to do. Make sure the quarterback doesn't get too far outside. When he's going to pass, get the big paws up, and was able to bat it down.
So a 3rd down and 9, dangerous situation here for the Bulldogs, who've already turned it over one time, and it's another probable passing down for Wright. But of course, keep in mind his escapability. If he gets pushed out of the pocket, he can run as well as any quarterback, and that's what he's going to do here. And Wright showing that elusive ability and bowls ahead and appears to have the first down. A great run by Wright. Scrambling. I think they're going to bring no, it is 1st down and 10. A great scrambling 9-yard run for the first down by Sakeen Wright. We saw there what he can do.
You're going to see this run here. As soon as he drops back, you're going to see he's looking to run all the way. Drops back, lets the secondary sag a little bit, and then takes off with the football. And you see his ability to run here. Couple of jukes, goes the outside, push Chris Waters out of the way. 1st down, Glassboro.
Tight end!
Straight ahead. Waters with the carry. And he'll get a couple of yards. To the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. 8 minutes, 14 seconds to go first period. 7-0 Paulsboro after the early turnover.
This is where Glassboro likes to run those screens.
Right. Fires it over the middle, and it's caught by Holmes, the gifted junior receiver. His first catch of the day. No better receiver in South Jersey than Terrence Holmes, and no better pass-catch combination than Wright to Holmes. They advance to the 43-yard line. So the Bulldogs, after being stalled on their first possession, resulting in the turnover, now have back-to-back first downs, 1st and 10 from their own 43. Everybody expects a high-scoring game, and this one's starting off looking like it could be just that.
So far, Glassboro getting nice protection from the offensive line.
Right pitch to Evans, almost dropped the ball, trying to get to the corner. And he'll get a couple of good yards. Takes a pretty good lick that time from number 5, Brian Webster, who goes 2 ways at quarterback and safety. But a nice gain by Evans to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and about 4 for a first down.
Yeah, he gets to the corner so fast. Mike Mendenhall really did a nice job stringing him out to the corner, and then Webster cleaning it up. But Evans gets to that corner so fast, he's able to pick up 6 yards.
2nd and 4, ball just shy of midfield. Straight drop back. Runs out of the pocket, has some room. Mendenhall misses him, he gets out of bounds, but he gets what appears to be another first down, and he just scares defenses, Shawn, with his ability to scramble and run for the first down, as he does here again with the advance to the 45-yard line. 3 first downs.
Yeah, he has the complete package. I mean, compare him to like Donovan McNabb, where he's got the strong arm, but he also, it seems like he's running so effortlessly, and he picks up 7 yards and another first down for Glassboro.
That's 3 first downs in this sequence after starting from their own 20. Officials timeout. The officiating crew today: Joe Shirk, the referee; the umpire, Jim Gonzano; Bill Murphy, the linesman; the line judge, Bob Costello; Harry Carr, the back judge; and Joe Capacetta is the clock operator here with us in the press box. Evans twisting, turning inside, getting across the 40, just inside the 40-yard line, and they've done this mostly on the ground. One completed pass to Holmes, but most of this has been the running of Wright and Evans.
And so far, nice job by Ed Bugard and Isaac Chapin on that left-hand side to spring Evans for a couple of yards. and they're really setting Paulsboro up here. They're trying to pound the ball in the middle of the field and then work the outside later in the game.
2nd down and 7, ball at the 40-yard line. Right, straight drop back again, fires a quick out, and it's taken, but then knocked out of bounds after a short gain is Matt Inuko of the Bulldogs. And that will be for short yardage to the 37. 3rd down and about 4 for the Bulldogs. So a big defensive play here for Paulsboro. And there's fans, the packed stands here on the Paulsboro side, rooting for their defense to make a stop.
And this is where Wright becomes so dangerous because he has the ability to roll out and pick up the first down with his legs.
Right. Runs it, gets by one would-be tackler, fakes another, gets the first down, knocked out, chased out of bounds, and there you saw again vintage Sakeen Wright, why he is so good at what he does. He gets the first down to the 30-yard line, and this has been impressive. Glassboro is stung by that early interception, and Paulsboro's ensuing touchdown has now put together 4 consecutive first downs on a brilliant drive to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. This has been very impressive. You know, Sakeen Wright's first pass was an interception, but he hasn't been rattled whatsoever. He's using it with his legs, a couple of short passes, and he's being very patient really right now, just setting up the Paulsboro defense.
1st and 10, ball at the 30, backs again split behind Wright. And Wright rolling. This is a run play all the way. One tackle missing. Now this is another tackle. Finally goes down. So for the first time they nail him, and Mendenhall, the tackler, with the assistance on the play from Bill Damask, and this will lose yardage back to the 35. So for the first time, Wright unable to escape for yardage, loses 6, 2nd and 16.
And I'll tell you, there's the difference that you see in Sakeen Wright. When you make him go north and south as opposed from east and west, that gives him less time. There he made a bad decision of going back into the middle of the Paulsboro defense instead of rolling out completely out of the pocket and looking for something on the right-hand side.
2 wide receivers split to the right side. In the slot is Holmes, the great receiver. This is the kind of play that Wright will look for Holmes. Holmes has lots of time, but it breaks down, and he goes down. And again, great job of pressure that time as Joe Tropia led the way for the Red Raiders. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 16.
And a nice job by the Paulsboro secondary on consecutive plays. Lionel Sharper, Preston Paulson, Brian Webster doing an outstanding job back there of giving Wright really no options to look for downfield.
3rd down and 16, so a definite passing down, and in this situation, more than likely that Wright will see if he can find his favorite receiver that he's worked with so often. Terrence Holmes is now split to the left side. Holmes. Right, and it's intercepted again. And Sharper with his 2nd interception here in the first period, an underthrown ball that time by Wright. Perfect position by Webster, or by Sharper, who's having a field day as a defensive back here in the first period, and a promising Glassboro drive, Shawn, goes by the boards.
And it seems like this ball gets hung up there a little bit, trying to float it out there so his receiver can get under it. But it seemed like it hung up a little bit, and an easy play for Sharper to make. So far, 2 big plays by the young man from Paulsboro.
Red Raiders start from their own 19-yard line after the 2nd turnover that they've taken here in the first period. Webster at the controls of the offense. Redmond is hit by 2 or 3 tacklers inside and appears to have gotten nothing on the play. Good job by the Glassboro defense inside. Oswald among the tacklers for the Bulldogs. 2nd down and about 9.5 for the Red Raiders. Late stages of the first quarter with Paulsboro leading 7-0. Glassboro has had the upper hand on ball control, but they trail at 7-0. Webster is dragged down from behind. Good job this time. Outstanding defensive play made by Shamar Robinson of Glassboro, is credited with the tackle and play. This one will lose yardage back to about the 19. It'll be 3rd down and 11. So credit the Glassboro defense with a good job on this possession after the turnover.
Yeah, Shamar Robinson came back 2 weeks ago. He was injured for most of the season with a leg injury, able to come back and make contributions against Gloucester in the semifinal, and then again for the Classic Division title against the Lions, who they played back-to-back weeks. There you see him with tremendous strength bringing Webster down.
Third down and 11, Webster back to throw, getting a rush, chased out of the pocket, and he'll go down. The sack is credited.
That's Charles Harvey there, number
Harvey.
88, the defensive end. What a play, because if he doesn't tackle Webster, he has an entire field, left-hand side of the field to work with. It's the near side on your screen. And you're going to see here that if he doesn't get Webster, he had a lot of room to run on that backside. Outstanding play there by Harvey to fight off the blocker and then make the big sack.
Now Funk, the all-purpose kicker, with punting from almost his end zone high. So that was a kick. Boy, he is some kind of kicker. This one is taken at the 41-yard line. Holmes with a return to midfield. We'll take timeout from Paulsboro High School. It's 7-0 Red Raiders. Evans with some running room to the outside, gets to the corner, hauled down, but not before he gets first down yardage. Shawn, Leary, and Bob Shryrock at Paulsboro High School for the Group 1 sectional championship game, and Glassboro now with 5 first downs here in the first period, although they trail Paulsboro 7-0. This advanced to the 31-yard line, so a 14-yard pickup by Kevin Evans, who's had such a great senior season, leader, one of the leaders on this football team. Not as many headlines as Wright and Holmes, but boy, does he get the job done.
Coming into the game averaging 7.8 yards per carry.
Straight up the middle is Evans. You get a couple this time. Inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. So the Paulsboro defense has been back on its heels here in the first period, although it's hasn't broken yet. 3-yard pickup on the play, second down and 7.
They bring in Jerron Muse, who gives him a little bit more size than Anuko. He's a couple of inches taller. Going up against the smaller Paris Cooper.
Second down and 7. Evans again. Evans cutting back inside and hits a wall and only gets about a yard on the play. So the Paulsboro interior defense doing the job. About a yard gain on the play to the 27, where it'll be third down and about 7 for a first down. Inside a minute in the first period, 50 seconds to go.
Pretty quick first period, first quarter.
Right, straight drop back. Gets chased out of the pocket. This is where he's dangerous. Running all over the place. This is what he does best. Scares him to death when he runs like that. He'll get the ball inside the 20 to about the 19, and another first down for Glassboro. And you can just tell, Shawn, they're scared to death when he runs the football.
Well, you even heard it growing inside the press box here, is when he gets that much time, he's either going to find a receiver or set up where he wants to run the football, and there he does it. He sets his blockers up in front of him, able to pick up the first down. He's a very calm and cool quarterback.
10 seconds to go in the period. Should be the last play of the quarter, unless it's an incompleted pass. Quick pitch to Evans. Evans looking to get to the corner. Turns it back inside. Mendenhall hits him first, and he twists for about another yard to the 17. That'll do it for the first period from Paulsboro High School. It's been a good one, just as we anticipated. 7-0 Paulsboro. Bob Shryrock and Shawn Leary at Paulsboro High School. The NJSIAA believes that athletics support the academic mission of our New Jersey schools by teaching sportsmanship, teamwork, self-discipline, and fair play. Studies have indicated that high school athletes in season perform better academically than out of season. Encourage your child to get involved in high school activities. You'll be glad you did. High school sports activities provide its participants with many of life's positive values. Support your local high school program by your attendance at some of their contests. NJSIAA provides 31 state championships in different sports for boys and girls. That number is the most of any state association in the United States. So it's third down, or first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 19-yard line. So another right scramble for a first down. Right, back to throw, chased again. And he's dragged down, but he still pulls ahead. And there's that Mendenhall. Mendenhall seems to be everywhere, and he got his hands on Wright. Wright did dive ahead for another yard.
Bring up a third.
Yeah, Mendenhall doing a really nice job of containing that outside and not letting these Glassboro athletes spring for big yardage along the sideline.
So it's third down and about 7 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 17-yard line. Well, Glassboro has really dominated possession here in the first half, although they trail it. Right. Again chased out of the pocket. One more time, fires it. And a diving, leaping effort by Holmes. Misses, and it'll be fourth down for the Bulldogs.
So far, Sakeen Wright 2 for 6.
And 2 interceptions. So a critical fourth down play coming up for the Bulldogs at the 17-yard line of Paulsboro. Boy, a big crowd as the stands are filled, but also the field is lined with spectators 3-4 deep in some spots. This is a big crowd for a high school football game.
Sure, you get a good look at it in our previous shot there. Well, it should be. This is an outstanding football game with two outstanding football teams.
Wright fires it, looking for Wright, and it's incomplete in the end zone. So the Paulsboro defense, although it bends a little bit again, does not break again. They'll turn the ball over. And who's defending in the corner? It's Sharper again, who has the 2 interceptions.
One thing, Sharper's 5'8", 163 pounds. He gives up about 3 inches on Terrence Holmes. But what Sharper does really well, Bob, is he gets up in the air. He has incredible hops. He's able to get up and bat the ball away. There's so many times that you've seen him go up against bigger receivers, but come out with a nice day because he's able to go up and get the football.
Paulsboro with a poor field position to start their third possession of the game. They're at the 17-yard line. Redmond has a little bit of room, and of course he has the 13-yard touchdown run. This is his second best gainer of the half.
What Glassboro wanted to do coming into this game is really prohibit Isaac Redmond and force Webster to try and find another weapon in either one of his wide receivers. So far, Glassboro's game plan of stopping Redmond has been okay. They did let up the big touchdown in the first quarter.
7-yard gain, second down and 3 for the Red Raiders. Turn inside. Paterna still on his feet. Breaking tackles, still battling for yardage. Paterna with great second, third, fourth effort. First down and a lot more, getting Paulsboro out of danger area deep in its own territory with the advance up to the 43. Terrific run by one of those unheralded players on this Paulsboro team, Shawn, Dave Paterna.
Yeah, you're going to see Dave Paterna here, just a quick hitter with a fullback. Nice blocks there, but you see Mendenhall throwing one of those blocks. And nice, nifty footwork there by Paterna. Spinning, turning, picking up the extra yards, 4 or 5 extra yards to give Paulsboro better field position.
First and 10, straight ahead. Redmond gets very little. He is hit initially by Shamar Robinson, and it bounces off him, but then gets hit by 2 or 3 more for the Bulldogs. So a short gainer of a yard, second down and 9 at the 44.
You really have to give credit to Charles Harvey and Keith Oswald, Greg Keith, and Bugard. So far, doing a nice job clogging up that middle and fighting off those big Paulsboro linemen, such as Tom Curl at 260. Joe Tropey, another good guard for Paulsboro. So the Bulldogs trying to stack everything up inside, doing it against Redmond.
Second and 9. Redmond again. And Redmond got still on his feet and loses yardage coming back. He was hit first by Robinson again, who's had a big first half defensively, and Redmond went in reverse on that play, lost some yardage back to the 40.
Yeah, what he did, got spun around and then just trying to make something happen, was pushed backward by number 44. That was Rashawn Pruitt on that outside.
So it's third down and 15 here.
Crowd,
yeah, it is a big crowd. It's good to see this. It's certainly in the 5,000 area category, I believe, because you can see it's lined the whole way around, and people were here in the stands, jamming the stands about an hour before game time. It could be an injured Glassboro player in the field, Robinson, who's just talked about him making all these tackles here in the first half. They're looking at Shamar Robinson. He's a junior, another one of those unheralded players on the Glassboro team that's done a very nice job.
It looks like they're trying to work with the ankle of Robinson. They really don't want to lose him. They didn't have him earlier in the year, and getting him back really helped out. And there you see the Paulsboro schedules. They went 10-0. Faced a Woodbury team. A lot of people looking toward that big game against Woodbury as they do every year, and Paulsboro was able to shut them out. Then had the huge win against Burlington City in the semifinals, 57-13, and a very emotional win last week against West Effort and beat them 34-6, getting some revenge from last year. See the Glassboro schedule. They played Gloucester 2 weeks in a row. One was the semifinals on the 18th, and then took it to the Lions 48-13 in the Thanksgiving game.
Webster back to pass, getting a big rush. They throw the screen to Redmond, and good job by Glassboro of reading the screen pass and holding it to virtually no yardage. Some terrific defensive play there. Muse in on the play, Waters, but they had plenty of help, and that'll create another Paulsboro punt. So a nice job of defensively reading the screen. The Glassboro with one of the better defensive coordinators in South Jersey and Herb Nealio, and many people think he could be a real great head football coach in South Jersey.
Chris Waters making the play there was one who subbed in for Shamar Robinson.
Funk with the kick. End over end punt this time. And it is taken by Muse, and Muse will back up and lose a yard or two.
Nice heads-up play by Muse there, Bob, because it wasn't too sure if it hit a Glassboro player, but he didn't want to take the chances as he saw it bounce near his teammate. Heads-up play by Muse to pick up the ball and just keep Glassboro from getting pinned back even more.
So it's first down and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 32-yard line. They have had success moving the football, particularly on the ground against the Red Raider defense, but nothing to show on the scoreboard so far. One drive fizzled out on an interception. First down and 10, ball at the 32. Right with the option. And breaks one tackle, almost breaks another one, but tripped up finally on a nice play by Tom Giorgiani. And that'll be a no-gainer, actually about a yard loss on the play, so it'll be second down and 11 for the Bulldogs with 7 minutes, 14 seconds to play, the clock running here in the first half. And expected more scoring by now, a low-scoring football game, and the only score, the result of an interception and a short drive by the Red Raiders.
Counting the sacks, Glassboro's run the ball so far 5 times for 56 yards.
Right again, dropping straight back. Goes deep, looking for Holmes, and well over him. And good coverage again by the ever-present Lionel Sharper, who has had quite a first half.
Lionel Sharper, really a nice athlete in his own right. Again, only 5'8".
So it'll be third down and 11 for the Bulldogs as their vaunted passing attack. Of course, Wright with 27 touchdown passes on the season, only 3 interceptions is incredible. Of course, he has 2 interceptions in addition to those 3 today.
Another outstanding stat. For his career, he's second in South Jersey in touchdown passes behind David Gurry.
Hit the screen, then screen to the opposite side, but the Red Raiders read that one absolutely perfectly. First in on the tackle, number 45, Mike Mendenhall, all South Jersey, and that'll force a Glassboro punt. So the Red Raider defense, I think, looked better in that series than any so far, Shawn.
Yeah, Glassboro's really sputtered, doing a nice job at the end of the first quarter, into the second quarter. Then a couple of sacks ordered their one drive. And then here you see doing another nice job on this series.
Redmond and Cooper deep to take the punt for Paulsboro. end-over-end kick taken by Redmond at about the 42-yard line, and he breaks a tackle. Now has some room down the left side, bounces off one tackle, finally hit to the turf on a good tackle by Shawn Pruitt. But a nice return by Redmond gives the Red Raiders their best field position of the half inside Glassboro territory at the 49.
So far, Paulsboro trying to get Redmond off track. On the track, he's only has 23 yards rushing, but he does have the lone touchdown of the game. Webster only one passing attempt so far, and that was a 3-yard reception.
And of course, Mendenhall, his favorite receiver in the season, he's thrown 7 touchdown passes. Mendenhall's collected 6 of them.
He's a touchdown maker.
First and 10, ball at the 49 for the Red Raiders. Webster over center. Redmond picking his way into the secondary. Redmond could go. 25, 20. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. Keep going. What a run by Isaac Redmond. 49 yards for the touchdown. Broke number of tackles on the way. The gifted sophomore with his second touchdown of the half. And the Red Raiders leading Glassboro 13-0 at the 5:39 mark of the second period. And John, that was just great athletic ability by Isaac Redmond to break loose for that touchdown.
Well, a lot of defenses in the Colonial Conference have seen this sophomore before. He has so much talent, able to get up through the middle, use his power, and then break it to the outside, use a couple moves to get into the end zone. That's why he has 1,209 yards coming into this game.
Funk out of the hole of Preston Paulson. Drills another one, and it's good. 14-0 Paulsboro, and let's see that Redmond touchdown run.
And a lot of these plays, you'll see Tom Carroll come and kick out with the block there, and then Redmond bursts through the middle, and once he's into that secondary, this is what he does well. Breaks one tackle there, and then use a nifty little move to shake off the safety and get into the end zone.
Highlight film run. We'll be back after this. Glassboro has dominated possession time. Paulsboro dominating the scoreboard. They lead Glassboro 14-0. Late in the second period, Shawn Leary, Bob Shryrock brings to the action. The Red Raiders, trying to win their 12th sectional championship, have a 14-0 lead. A stunning run by Isaac Redmond. Holmes missed that tackle. He made a nice shoestring effort, but couldn't hang on to Redmond. Redmond broke that tackle and made one juke on use in the open field, and that was it.
He is the total package, Bob.
And a sophomore.
Just a sophomore. For the next 2 years, we'll still get a chance to see that young man run the football.
Short kickoff this time, taken by Gaines. Gaines trying to get to the outside, but he is going to be tracked down and knocked out of bounds by the Red Raiders. Special teams done a nice job. And the Bulldogs will take over, trailing 14-0. Of course, they have the firepower to overcome any deficit, and against a pretty good Paulsboro defense, 14-0 is going to be a bit of a challenge, I believe, Shawn.
Yeah, they have to get back to what they were doing well in the first quarter, and that was getting those quick strikes, running the football to the outside, using Wright's legs. If they do that, they're going to be able to move the football against Paulsboro. If they get behind 14-0 and think they're going to try to get it back in a couple of plays, I don't think that's the right game plan for Leary.
First and 10 ball from the 28-yard line. Wright's going to try to run, but he's not going to get very far. Penalty marker is thrown.
Hit out of bounds.
Might be a late hit against Paulsboro. Possibility.
Either that, they might even get a face mask on that side. Far side of the field.
Mendenhall over there leading the tacklers again. It is a face mask, you are correct. The call made by Joe Shirk. And that will enhance the Bulldog cause after a good defensive play by Paulsboro.
An interesting calls. Now they've changed the rules.
5-yard face mask, defense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
5-yard face mask.
Timeout, Paulsboro.
All of the 32 where it's going to be a first down and 5. Joe Shirk. Shawn, I've known Joe for about 35 years. And was a very, very successful NCAA Division I referee, working Big Ten games, working Notre Dame, working SEC games for a number of years. Very successful, outstanding, highly rated collegiate referee. Decided to retire 2 years ago. Moved to Ocean City, lives there now, but got back into high school coaching. He's going full cycle. Said he loves it back doing this. Talked to him before the game, and he is considered probably as good an official as ever has come out of this area.
How can he not love a game like this? Paulsboro and Glassboro, this is bigger than any Oklahoma and Kansas State game, any college game that might be going on today. Two local county teams with 10-0 records.
Of course, Gloucester County with Glassboro, Paulsboro, and Woodbury has been absolutely dominant in South Jersey Group 1 for the last 2 decades. They have won all but 1 or 2 of the championships and among those 3 schools. And there's going to be another one added to that list today. So it's first down and 5 for the Bulldogs after the face mask. Right, has a man open, but overshoots him. He had Muse open between defenders, but overfires the intended receiver. That'll bring up a second down and 5.
And he just hasn't found his timing yet, overshooting his receivers. Now he's throwing with a little bit of a wind, very slight wind right now, and I don't think that's really affecting him, but he just hasn't found that timing yet. Once Sakeen Wright's able to do that, he's going to become very effective here in this game, and he doesn't want to run out of time doing that. But once he starts getting a couple of passes complete, you'll see him making 1, 2, 3 passes and going for the bombs and hitting them to Terrence Holmes and Jerron Muse. He's done that all year and throughout his 2-year career.
Yeah, he's got to get Holmes involved in the offense a little more. Only 1 reception for Holmes so far. 2 receivers to the near side on second down and 5. Wright again, chased out of the pocket and twisting, turning, and he gets a lot of company from the Paulsboro defense. Derek Holloway leading the tacklers that time for the Red Raider defense. Again, Paulsboro high-powered offense, so you don't hear a whole lot about what they've done defensively this year. Paulsboro has had an excellent defensive year, and this is an extremely young Paulsboro team.
Oh, it is. They're going to be
extremely young.
As we talked about from Glassboro, is the 3, Kevin Evans, Terrence Holmes, and Sakeen Wright, were only going to get better. This Paulsboro team should dominate again next year in the Colonial Conference.
Third down and 8, 4 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the half. Paulsboro showing blitz. They pull off of that. Wright has lots of time this time, but gets a nice block, and this one is overshot. Holmes, the intended receiver, but right on him again. Lionel Sharper, who is having a highlight film game for him today with the 2 interceptions and great coverage on 3 or 4 other plays. And Glassboro again forced to punt, so they are, after moving the ball well in the first quarter, Shawn, the Glassboro offense is kind of bogged down here in the second quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, he had Jerron Muse open down around the 50-yard line, which would have given him more than enough for a first down, but he was looking right for Holmes on that play. He had Muse, but did not trigger the open man. A bad decision there by Wright, going for the double-covered Terrence Holmes.
Paulsboro rushing 10 men. They might go for the block this time. Redmond back in a single safety position. A big rush does just get it off, and an excellent punt. Redmond will let this one roll dead at about the 25-yard line, so a first down and 10 for the Red Raiders, who went for the block all the way on that play.
Still 4:06 now, remaining before half. Paulsboro backed up a little bit. This Paulsboro offense is without one of its top linemen, Anthony Esposito, who suffered an injury in the West Deptford game. Is on the sidelines, not playing for him.
325-pounder they're missing in the middle line. He's been a good senior leader in this team, been a nice player. So it's first down and 10 for Paulsboro, which leads 14-0. They'd love to tackle on another one before halftime. Last time Redmond touched the ball, he went 49 yards for touchdown. He has both scores in this football game. Pitch to Redmond. Redmond pulled down this time, and nice job defensively by the Bulldogs.
for the most part. Glassboro has done a nice job on Redmond, but just when you think that you're doing a great job against him, he busts off a 49-yard touchdown run. It's put Paulsboro up here with now only 3:39 remaining on the clock and a 14-point lead.
Well, at the 28-yard line, Oswald with the tackle for the Bulldogs after the 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7. Paulsboro yet to complete a pass in this football game, but they haven't had to, leading 14-0. Now the opposite side with Redmond has more room this time. Gets one nice block, one more man to beat, pulling tacklers with him, and a nice run for Redmond that will get Paulsboro another 1st down. This one just short of midfield at about the Red Raider 48-yard line, and 3:12 with the clock running here in the 1st half. What Glassboro does not want to see happen here, Shawn, is get behind Paulsboro by 3 touchdowns, because when's the last time you saw a Paulsboro team lose that kind of a lead?
Yeah, it would be tough, and also Paulsboro would be getting the football first in the 2nd half.
1st down and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. Redmond play a little slow developing that time, and Glassboro took advantage of that and made a nice play defensively. Gains in the tackle, but plenty of help as well for the Bulldogs. Loss on the play back to the 46. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Red Raiders. 2 minutes 33 and the clock moving here in the 1st half. So a bit surprising, Glassboro, which at one point had a chance to set the all-time South Jersey scoring record before being forced to take a 1-0 forfeit victory over Clayton, not on the scoreboard. Bit of a surprise, I'm sure, to a lot of people. Paterna with a nice run. Paterna dragging tacklers into Glassboro territory to about the 45-yard line.
That's that same quick hitter that they picked up 19 yards earlier in the game with Paterna. So far between Paterna and Redmond, the Red Raiders are over 100 yards rushing. Redmond with 83 on 10 carries. Now 28 yards on 3 carries for Paterna.
3rd down and 3. This is a big defensive play for Glassboro. They do not want to see Paulsboro get another 1st down here. This is a big defensive play for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 3. And they give it to Paterna again, and he slips and falls and covered by Muse, and that's a fortuitous play for Glassboro because it apparently will force a Paulsboro punt. It looked like he would have had the room to get the 1st down, but because of slipping on the turf, he's short of the 1st down.
It looks like he just lost his footing on that play, as you see, trying to give the ball to the fullback. But trying to make the cut there and slips on the turf. Muse coming up on the play, but Paterna would have had to beat only the one man. Now an official timeout with 1:03 left, and Glassboro calls timeout, and you're wondering why didn't they call the timeout a little bit earlier to save themselves some time.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know whether Paulsboro is debating the possibility of trying to go for the 1st down or not, which would be a gamble, obviously, at the Glassboro 43-yard line at this stage in the 1st half with the passing ability, the quick strike capabilities of Glassboro. So I'm surprised if they would not punt in this situation.
I'm sure they were playing a little cat and mouse there, trying to bait Glassboro into calling the timeout later on and not allowing them to show in their hand right away and giving them a little bit more time on the clock. But Bob, you're right. You know, with Funk's ability to pin teams deep in his leg, and with only 1:03 left, it's hard for a high school team to try and get down the field that fast. One team that's able to do it is Sakeen Wright. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here on 4th, and it looks about 2.5 yards.
So only 1:03 to go in the half, but I do not think they want to give Glassboro a shot that close, but they're going to go for the 1st down. This is an interesting call here. They reset the formation. 4th down and 3. Paterna gets the handoff, and he gets the 1st down, and he breaks a tackle. He's into the clear to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Unbelievable. They go for the 1st down and a 4th and 2. We're second-guessing the decision. Guess what? Touchdown run by Paterna, and that one could have broken this game wide open at 20-0. Who would have suspected that one? They had the defense in tight. Once he got into the secondary, he was gone.
Well, Glenn Howard's a genius, because I was saying, why are they going for it right here and giving Glassboro the opportunity to get into this game in the half, and Dave Paterna able to pick up more than enough for the first down and really put the Bulldogs in a hole now.
Boy, they are in a hole. 20-0. Funk tries to make it 21, and I tell you, the height he gets on these kicks is amazing for a high school kicker. 21-0. Paterna might have broken it wide open on that fourth down call that Shawn and I are sitting up thinking, why is he doing that? Well, this is why he did it. Let's see.
They're just trying to get the fullback involved on this play. He has a lot of power behind him. Breaks it 2 tackles, and once he breaks those 2 tackles, Glassboro stacked up at the line of scrimmage. There was nothing they can do. The only one that had the chance was Ed Bugard, the senior, trying to come back on the back side of the play and make the tackle there.
Well, once you got in the secondary, Shawn, there was nobody to stop him. I get Glassboro figures they're in a short yardage situation. They're just trying to get the first down. Guess what? He breaks through the first line of defense and he's gone, and that is a big play. And 21-0 Paulsboro, and I don't think anybody would have suspected this at halftime, Shawn.
Going right behind Joe Tropy and Billy Damas to give them a 21-point lead. And you're right, Bob, I really don't think anybody expected, not that Paulsboro would be up by 21 points, that Glassboro is held scoreless. Now remember, Glassboro scored only 6 points against Gloucester in the first half and really turned it on against a nice Lions defense in the second half and opened up that game. So Glassboro's ability to get on the board in a hurry still keeps them in any game. But against the Paulsboro defense, it's this stingy. It's going to be tough for the Bulldogs.
We're not burying them yet, though. This is a Glassboro team with great quick strike capabilities, and Funk keeps this one on the ground, taken at the 25-yard line by Holmes, and Holmes, does he take a hit? He takes a hit. It looked like Dennis Nelson on the special teams for Paulsboro. Injured Paulsboro player. 48 seconds to go in the half. There's timeout, an injury timeout on the field. The advance to the 36-yard line. Paulsboro obviously pumped right now, but to go back to the other point, Shawn, you don't bury a Glassboro team at this point with a Sakeen Wright, a Terrence Holmes, a Kevin Evans, those kind of offensive players. They can score a lot. They can score in a hurry.
Let's remember that also on the other side now, we won't be expecting Paulsboro to be throwing the ball an awful lot. But in that Glassboro secondary, they have Muse with 7 interceptions and Holmes with 6 interceptions. So that's something to look for in the second half if Glassboro is able to get back into the game and force Paulsboro to use a more diversified offense. They have the ability to create turnovers as well.
21-0 Paulsboro. Less than a minute to go in the first half, and kind of a shocker. I noticed in the Gloucester County Times the prognosticators, Shawn, kind of split on their picks of Glassboro and Paulsboro, and I think it was that way on other newspapers as well. So essentially kind of a toss-up game in the minds of the people that cover the games. But I don't believe anybody would have suspected at this point that Paulsboro would have a 3-touchdown lead before the half.
Now, I'm talking to a lot of people throughout the week, a lot of other coaches that were anticipating this game. They said this is going to be the game to watch. You really can't miss this game. It's going to be a very close game. So far, Paulsboro's game plan has really worked against Glassboro, frustrating the Bulldogs' offense, and then using the running attack of Paterna and Isaac Redmond. One of the things that Paulsboro has been able to do is establish the running game without their big tackle, Anthony Esposito, who was injured in last week's game against West Deptford. But they're eating up the play on the ground. They're trying to eat up the clock, control the time, keep the tempo of the game, and it's working.
Eric Detona, the injured Paulsboro player, being carried off the field by a couple of the members of the staff. Eric Detona is a sophomore playing on the specialty teams, and we hope that Eric is okay.
Anytime you carry a kid off like that, it's a very scary situation. I'm sure the young man's in a lot of pain right now. Let's hope everything's okay with.
Now this is a situation here, the ball at the 32-yard line, where the Paulsboro defense, which obviously will play prevent in this situation, has to be really careful. Sakeen Wright can throw the ball 60 yards in the air, and Terrence Holmes can catch it. So they got to be careful. They don't want to give one away with a 3-touchdown lead, and they'll play deep. They'll have Paulson and Revels playing really deep Wright will go deep. Oh, he hits the man wide open. Manuko.
Get Manuko on the sideline, and more importantly, with 40 seconds, he's able to get out of bounds. There you see Sakeen Wright's arm, able to throw that out there. A sharp, crisp pass gives him the opportunity. When it's that sharp and that crisp, it gives the defense, doesn't give the defense time to react to it. And Manuko was able to pick up the extra yardage.
That was a nice pickup of 28 yards and a bullet thrown by Wright. Ball at the 40. There's still plenty of time here for the Bulldogs to get one. Two receivers to the far side. Wright getting some pressure, and he gets a block, so he's going to try to run it, and he'll scoot out of bounds by using 10 seconds. However, his advance to the 36-yard line, where it'll be second down. Second down and about 5. Actually, the spot will be at the 35-yard line.
This would be very big for Glassboro to try to get some points here, give him some confidence going into the locker room. You know, Paulsboro will be putting a lot of tension on Holmes.
And Sharper gets the call, a head-on one-on-one with Holmes. Right again. Fires it back. Oh, and that one, nobody there. The intended receiver was Darren Lewis, and it'll be third down and 5. Good coverage downfield again.
Good coverage, but he did have Lewis open in the middle of the field, and if he was able to make that completion, Lewis would have had an opportunity to try and get out of bounds. So now with 23 seconds left, and a third down.
Third down and 5, but the 5 isn't important. The end zone is for Glassboro. They want to get there before halftime, and they'll now split Muse and Holmes to the near side. And Right. Lots of time, goes deep, fires it looking for Muse, and is almost intercepted by Preston Paulson, a junior, and that'll bring up a fourth down. So about 14 seconds to go in the half, maybe the last chance for the Bulldogs in this half.
Throughout this half, Sakeen Wright has really thrown the ball with a little too much underneath it and overshooting his receivers. If that ball's thrown a little bit underneath, you have Preston Paulson, who isn't nearly as big at 6 foot as Muse at 6'2", and Muse also another outstanding leaper. Trying to get something to happen in the back of the end zone and allow Holmes or Muse to go up for the football.
I think he'll look for Holmes this time. Holmes to the near side, Sharper on him one-on-one. Penalty markers down. Wright chased out of the pocket. He has some room. And he'll try to get out of bounds, and he scoots down the sideline, is out of bounds with 2 seconds to go. There was a penalty flag down.
Let's see if they'll pull this back.
And that's against Glassboro. So that's damaging because the scramble run by Wright got them in pretty good position to go for the end zone with one more play. Now this will back them up with 2 seconds to go.
2 seconds to go now. Still, it'll remain fourth down, so Glassboro will get another shot to go for the end zone.
Illegal motion, offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
So it's now fourth down again for the Bulldogs, and Wright, I'm sure, will do a Hail Mary job on this one, Shawn.
Yeah, and that's a tough penalty because that would have put him about 20, 25 yards, and with the arm that he has, it gives you a little bit more of an option of what you can do down at the 20 as opposed to now being at the 40-yard line. The only thing you can do is throw it up, and hopefully one of your big receivers will pull it down.
And they'll go out of the shotgun for this fourth down play, and the Holmes split to the far side again with Sharper on him, and Sharper will have help over there, I'm sure, but I'm sure he's going to be looking for Holmes in this play. He goes to the opposite side, and it'll go into the end zone, and almost intercepted. Could have been picked by David Giles, but the Bulldogs come up short again. At the end of the first half, a bit of a surprise. Paulsboro 21 and Glassboro nothing. We'll be back with the second half after this. Shawn, Leary and Bob Shryrock at Paulsboro High School. 21-0 Red Raiders. We begin the second half, and the Red Raiders will receive the kickoff. Holmes kicking off for the Bulldogs. Deep kick. And backing up at the goal line. Big room up the middle, and a nice return by Lionel Sharper, who had a huge first half. And a nice return here, giving Paulsboro good field position at the 35-yard line. Shawn, very critical defensive series coming up for Glassboro High School. Clearly, they cannot afford to allow Paulsboro to have another touchdown.
Oh, clearly. You're right, Bob. 21-0 now trailing at halftime. A big deficit. Glassboro not during their 22-game streak. We've already talked about this. Not being in this position of having to come back, and especially from such a big deficit. It's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be critical here to stop Paulsboro.
First down and 10. Paterna with the carry. Paterna breaking tackle. He had a big touchdown run near the end of the first half to give the Red Raiders their 3 TD lead. And this advanced to the 40-yard line. Nice pickup on the play of about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Red Raiders.
During the first half, we've been charting John Mondelli down on the field, and we have John Cobb up in the press box. They're giving us some stats, doing a nice job. And John Mondelli was telling me they've run up the middle 9 times, did Paulsboro, on most of their carries. They're just trying to go straight up the middle behind Joe Tropia, Billy Damask, and Tommy Curl.
Good hit, outstanding hit by number 1 for Glassboro, Raheem Gaines. Stood Redmond straight up, and it looks like the Glassboro side of the field is fired up for this second half. They want to try to get their team back in the football game. So no gain on the play, 3rd down and 5, and again, a very important defensive series for the Bulldogs. A stop here, they get the ball back. With Sakeen Wright at quarterback, anything can happen.
They're trying to get that Glassboro sideline pumped up. You see the Bulldog in the back there. Trying to get the stands ready, trying to get the Glassboro defense fired up to make a big 3rd down stop.
3rd down and 5. Option, the pitch to Redmond, and Redmond is pulled down. Nice defensive play by Rashawn Pruitt. Big play. They needed one of those, and now the Red Raiders will be forced to punt.
Nice job by the Bulldogs to come out after the first half that they had really Paulsboro really running down the Glassboro throats, but they were able to stop it here the beginning of the second half and give Wright the football back to try and get that offense in gear.
Funk punting for the Red Raiders. Low snap, gets it without any problem. End over end punt. Evans watches it, and it'll take a favorable bounce for Glassboro. And a penalty flag down. And this is going to be an inopportune penalty, I believe, against Glassboro, and a very unnecessary penalty that'll push them back. And Bob Cleary won't be happy with this one, I don't believe.
Yeah, and Keith Oswald is slapping his helmet saying, what did I just do? There was no reason to go down there. I know you're fired up, you're trying to make something happen, but he's trying to hit a Paulsboro player when really, there's nothing going to be going on right there. Glassboro's not going to pick that ball up and try to get any extra yardage. You got to be disciplined and make smart decisions there. That's just really going to back them up if the refs decide on
officials
pushing
conferring
Glassboro
with
back.
Joe Shirk, the referee, before the penalty is stepped off. Personal foul against the Bulldogs. Joe Shirk's mic not on for that call. This will back up the Bulldogs. They had nice field position at about the 37-yard line, but this penalty will push them way back, and that's not the kind of penalty they need.
Dead ball foul.
21-0.
Personal foul on the receiving team. It'll be a 1st and 10 situation after 15-yard penalty.
Now, if they had come down, if Oswald had hit him a little bit earlier, and they would have called the personal foul, being this is a dead ball foul, Glassboro retains possession, although it backs them up. There would have been a personal foul and, let's say a face mask or anything, Paulsboro would have been given a 1st down. This just backs the Bulldogs up, and they're going to have to come out of a hole and get something going early here in the second half.
1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line, right with the pitch to Evans to try to reestablish a running game. Mendenhall slips off Mendenhall down the right sideline and finally knocked out of bounds. A possible touchdown-saving tackle by Preston Paulson. When Mendenhall missed the tackle on Evans, could have thrown him for a loss. Mendenhall does not miss many tackles, but Evans slipped him on that one. First down carry to the 49-yard line.
Ryan Kelly coming out of the game now, and into the game is number 51. That's Zach Guerin, and it looked like Kelly might have pulled a groin.
Bought the 44-yard line with a 1st down and 10. They're splitting the backs now behind Wright, and again they're trying to get this ground game straightened out, and Evans won't get much this time. A yard, maybe 2.
What I think Glassboro has to do, Bob, is right now they're trying to establish the running game again, get some kind of a flow like they did in the first quarter and were able to pick up a nice drive. I think they have to get them quick hitters. They used the slant one time with Terrence Holmes, was able to come up and get about a 5, 6, 7 yard completion. But what you have to do is get the ball into his hands. He's a big-time playmaker along with Kevin Evans. Get it into their hands and allow them to try and make a big play with their speed and their ability to elude tacklers.
2nd down and 8, right, straight, drop back, looking for Holmes, chased out of the pocket again, dangerous runner, has lots of room, right down the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds, but not before he has a big gain. Sharper knocks him out of bounds, but a 1st down carry by Wright, and this is exactly what the Bulldogs wanted to do. Cleary, I'm sure, told him at halftime, don't panic when we get the ball back, let's get that ground game going. And that's exactly what they've done. So they're in great position now at the Glassboro 36-yard, or Paulsboro 36-yard line with a 1st down and 10. Holmes, the wide receiver, split to the right side with single coverage again by Sharper. Right. Hook out pass to Holmes. He's dangerous in these situations. Slips one tackle, but not the second. And gets the advance to the 32-yard line. Nice little pickup on the play.
Sure, and that's a nice 1st down play. You're going to pick up about 5, 6 yards on that play, and give your quarterback, give your running back, give your offensive coordinator some kind of different scheme to come up with and get another 1st down. When you run around back there and get sacked, you really put yourself in a precarious situation.
2nd and 5, ball at the 32. Quick pitch to Evans. Evans getting to the corner. Knocked out of bounds by Mendenhall.
Guess who? Mike Mendenhall. We've been calling his name along with Sharper on that defense throughout the first half, but he's a good one. Mike Mendenhall just does everything that you want your defensive end to do. Go in, rush the passer, make sure on running plays you get out to the outside and not let these speedy athletes get along those sidelines and pick up the big yardage. A really outstanding player on both sides of the football.
3rd and 4, ball at the 30-yard line. Very important series for Glassboro to get back in this football game. A score here and they're right back in it. Holmes, the receiver, to the near side this time. Wright option play. And Wright appears to have 1st down yardage to about the 25, and does. 1st down for the Bulldogs. Good job by the Bulldogs. They made the defensive stop. Now their offense back in gear. Too good a football team to get roughed up the way they did in the first half, Shawn. They're sticking right with their game plan. They're trying to get right back in it.
That's right. We talked about that. You mentioned right before the half. This team can explode on you in a hurry. 21 points. This team has scored 49 points in a game, sometimes 35 points in a half. So they have the ability to get back into this one.
Wright fires it over the middle, and the receiver wasn't looking on the play. It looked like he might have had him open, but Darren Lewis, the intended receiver, was not looking when the ball zipped past him. 2nd down and 10.
Well, let's see if they'll come back to that play sometime during the game, because that worked. Darren Lewis, even though he had some coverage on him, if he would have looked up, he has that football. The secondary is just trying to stay with him. The linebackers had their heads turned.
5866. You have the winning ticket. Come up to the press box.
Shawn, did you win the 50-50? You gonna take me out to dinner?
Bob, I bought probably half the tickets in this place, and I remain poor.
2nd down and 10. Wright rolling right. Again, chase out of the pocket, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Brought down by Mendenhall. No surprise there. Mike Mendenhall showing us why he is 1st team All-South jersey.
He was out there with Ryan Kelly, who's now back into the game after coming off the field with a groin. Looked like a groin injury. There, Wright's just got to make a better decision. Try and, when you're out of that pocket, throw the ball away instead of losing the 5, 6 yards on that play.
3rd down and 17 as the ball is all the way back to the 32-yard line. Glassboro trying to play catch-up, but they're in a 3rd and 17 hole. Wright looking for Holmes, chased again out of the pocket, and he's going to be Gets away from the tackler. Unbelievable. Look at that escapability of Wright. But all that running is only going to get him a couple of yards and still create a 4th down and long as he is chased down and tackled by Joe Tropia.
He had Tom Curl on his back. Looks like Sakeen Wright is down on the sideline.
Possibly injured. Oh boy.
That would be devastating right now to the Bulldogs, down by 21. Trying to make something happen along that sideline. We don't want to estimate. You see him lying on the field right now.
Sakeen Wright.
And look,
Lamar Sturdivant from Woodbury High School. I remember the play very well. He was injured in the first quarter of that great Woodbury-Paulsboro game when Paulsboro was trying to extend its streak. Woodbury had one loss. That was 3 years ago, Shawn. And I was down on the sidelines when Sturdivant went down. A game Woodbury effort, but came up short in that contest.
that was probably the most hyped football game that recalled in recent memory, as much as this one. There's been a lot of headlines about this game.
That's
Two
good to see.
undefeated Group 1 teams all.
Sakeen up, walking off under his own power. What a tremendous athlete he is. Shawn, not only a great football player, but a great basketball player as well. And you can really see his athletic ability on the basketball court for Glassboro High School. Nice young man. Going to be honored at the Touchdown Club of Southern New Jersey this coming Wednesday night as the Offensive Player of the Year for the Touchdown Club, and deservedly so. And just a very gifted athlete. He looks to be okay, and I'm sure we'll see him back in the football game, but he's got to sit out a play. And this is critical, too, because on a 4th down and long, 4th down and 13, the backup quarterback in the game for Glassboro, Matt Anuko. A lot of pressure here on Anuko in this critical 4th down call for the Bulldogs. Anuko back to throw. Fires it over the middle, and he hits the receiver. Unbelievable. Look at this play. Now the ball is loose. Does Paulsboro come up with it? What a play.
It's going to be interesting if they're going to call this play down.
Penalty markers down. It's Glassboro football. Injured Glassboro. That was a bizarre play. First of all, Sakeen Wright goes out injured. Anuko, the backup quarterback, comes in and throws an absolutely perfect pass.
A nice poised pass. You're going to see him look over the middle here for Muse. Muse able to come up with the football. Let's see if he's down. He's hit from the side. And then the ball's knocked loose by none other than Lionel Sharper.
And a personal foul tacked on against Paulsboro. So this is going to take it half the distance, and they're down inside the 5 anyway.
By Glassboro. First down and goal.
25-yard completion.
Foul, personal foul on the defense, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So it'll be 4th down and goal, the ball at about it appears the 2-yard line. Now right back in the game, the backs behind him, Evans, the deep back, and the fullback is Chris Waters.
Anuko with 4 for 6 coming into this game, so he has completed a few passes.
And that might be the biggest completion of his career, and what a great place to do it. And boy, he showed a little moxie on that play coming in goal. Wright keeps it and bounces off a tackler and gets the touchdown. So Sakeen Wright, with second effort, gets into the end zone at the 4:47 mark of the 3rd period, and the Bulldogs back in this one. Anuko, the hero in that drive, as he completes the pass down inside the 5-yard line, right back in the game, and he keeps the ball, quarterback keeper, for the touchdown from 2 yards. It's 21-6.
And Muse, a nice job holding on to the football there until he was down by contact, but he was really popped a couple times on that play. Didn't let go of the ball until he was down.
Now Holmes, another good kicker. 2 great kickers in this football game. And Holmes drills his, and it's good. So it's 21-7, and the Bulldogs back in this football game.
You see Leary, but here's the touchdown. The Sakeen Wright, all 6'3", 220 pounds of him, is going straight up the middle and powers his way in to pull Glassboro within 14 points. With the score 21-7, 4:47 left here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching NJSAI Group 1 Championship Football on Comcast Channel 43.
Shawn, Leary, and Bob Shryrock back at Paulsboro. It's a new ball game, 21-7, and the Raiders will cover this one on the kickoff at about the 25-yard line. So the Raiders take over, leading now by 21-7. And again, we cannot emphasize enough the completion by backup quarterback Matt Anuko when Wright went out for the one play with the injury, forced to leave for a play. Anuko comes in and throws an absolutely perfect pass that sets up the touchdown that gets Glassboro right back in this football game. And you know, someday they may look back on that play and say it was a play of the football game, Shawn.
Oh yeah, Matt Anuko doing a very nice job of coming in a big situation and making a big
Redmond
play.
breaks a tackle, getting down the sideline, 45, 40, cutting back inside, gets good pursuit and knocked out of bounds, but Redmond with a great escape job to get a nice carry for a first down and giving Paulsboro good field position at the 46-yard line. Nice run by Redmond, who has 2 of the 3 touchdowns for Paulsboro. Paterna getting the other one.
Now, Glassboro, like the first series, Paulsboro had need a big stop here with 4:36 left in the third quarter. They need to stop Paulsboro.
Straight ahead for Paterna, gets only a couple of yards. He's covered nicely by Gaines and by Charles Harvey. So a pickup on the play of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Red Raiders. A problem that the Bulldogs are having with Redmond is they're not doing a good job of tackling him. He's shedding tacklers, and they just got to do a better job of knocking him down.
That's his forte. Along with Paterna, very tough runners, keep their legs moving at all times, and they pick up those tough extra yards. And if you don't wrap them up, they're going for touchdowns.
2nd down and 8. Paterna with the run across midfield and near the first down, and he has had a terrific season. Redmond's gotten most of the headlines because of his extraordinary sophomore season, but Dave Paterna certainly has been a key player in this football team. They're going to bring the chains in. The spot is at about the 44-yard line. Wright has 56 yards rushing, according to our able statistician, John Cobb, from the neighboring community of West Defford. You know John, don't you, Shawn?
Oh, very well.
Man about town, soccer coach extraordinaire.
Outstanding soccer coach.
Council person. He does a little bit of everything. First down carry by Paterno to the 44-yard line.
He didn't give us the halftime stats, but we noticed when we came back up, he had some sauce on the side of his face. Yeah, Paulsboro always does a nice job of making sandwiches for everybody.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure he got all the meatball sandwiches and the sausage sandwiches, and so he was well fortified for the second half.
Don and Birch, that's where you get those sausage and meatballs, Bob. They're outstanding.
1st and 10, ball at the 44-yard line after Paterno's first down carry. Redmond straight up the middle. Nice job by the interior of the Glassboro defense to stop at about the 41-yard line. Pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7.
They stack them up in the middle. That, again, we've called these guys a couple of times today. Greg Keith Oswald, and Ned Bugard doing a nice job right in the middle of that defense. Paulsboro loves to run up the middle, especially with those big backs that they have. So far, the linebacking core of Raheem Gaines and Shamar Robinson have done an okay job. The one thing is, though, if you don't wrap them up, and you've seen like that in the first half, Isaac Redmond will make you pay.
2nd and 6. Redmond cutting it back inside. Gets him another yard or 2. He'll be short of the first down. The advance to the 37-yard line. 3rd down and about 3 coming up for the Red Raiders. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to play third quarter. It's 21-7. Paulsboro led 21-0 at halftime. The Bulldogs bouncing back with a TD here in the third quarter to stay very much in this contest, but Paulsboro driving now for what they hope will be another 3-touchdown advantage.
There you see Herb Nealio, and defensive coordinator for Bob Cleary.
Paterna has the first down. He is such a dependable guy. Redmond gets the bulk of the carries, but Paterna, when called upon this season, has always been ready to do his job, and he has, of course, had a couple of huge carries today. And there's another one.
And what they're doing is they're just running the ball in between Joe Tropia and Mike Mendenhall. on that right-hand side.
Ball at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 Red Raiders.
Along with Frank Cullen, the tackle.
Redmond straight up the gut. Nice carry to about the 25-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play. Actually, no, he gets more than, he gets 8. 2nd down and 2 coming up. 8-yard pickup for Redmond. With 1:10 to play in a rapidly played 3rd quarter.
Now, looks like about 2nd and 3. Let's see if they'll try and pass. Webster not really being called upon that much to throw it in the air.
Well, keeping on the ground, Redmond picking his way, sliding off tacklers, another 1st down carry. His upper body strength obviously is pivotal to his overall play. And he gets another 1st down here.
Sure, Bob, you can't tackle him high. You have to get around his knees, and that's what makes him so effective because he keeps those knees moving. When he keeps those legs moving, he gets out of tackles, breaks away, and if you try to tackle him up high, he's down the sidelines.
Ball at the 18-yard line, 1st down and 10, inside a minute in the 3rd quarter, 35 seconds with the clock running. Just keeping on the ground. Penalty marker, dead ball foul coming up here. Been a pretty much penalty-free football game. That's good to see in a championship contest, an indication of how well coached these teams are. False start against the Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School. We'll back them up.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
The ball back to the 23-yard line for the Red Raiders.
Glassboro needs to be a little aggressive here on defense. They can't allow a score here by Paulsboro as the 3rd quarter coming closely to a close. Now only 20 seconds left. I think they have to be a little aggressive and try and stuff Paulsboro here.
The pitch to Redmond. Redmond looking for some blocking, and look at the balance that he keeps. Unbelievable job. He was down and almost down. His knee only inches from the ground. He kept his balance and moved the ball down close to a 1st down. End of 3 quarters from Paulsboro High School. The Red Raiders 21. The Bulldogs of Glassboro High 7. Fourth quarter football from Paulsboro High School, NJSIAA Group 1 Championship Final. Paulsboro 21, Glassboro 7. Shawn, Leary, and Bob Shryrock with statistician John Cobb, who tells us that Isaac Redmond has 18 carries for 113 yards and those 2 touchdowns so far in the football game.
We got a packed seat over there for you.
What a big hit here. Tremendous defensive play. And the hit made by Glassboro, Shamar Robinson, a big hit on Redmond. Great hit.
Yeah, he just squared his shoulders up and went right into the midsection of Redmond, the best place to try and tackle a runner like him because you can't wrap him up high. And as we talked about, you can't go for his feet. Pick a spot near his midsection and drive him backward, and that's exactly what Raheem Gaines did on that play, or Shamar Robinson.
3rd down and 8 for the Red Raiders, who have not completed a pass today, and Webster keeping the ball, and he will drive ahead for a few yards, but well short of the 1st down. And I'm wondering if he maneuvered that into field goal kicking position for Funk. What do you think?
Oh, sure. With Funk's leg, this is a chip shot for him. He's able to make sometimes 40, 45-yard field goals in practice.
Well, it's an important kick because if he makes it, then it's a 3-score game. Glassboro has to score 3 times instead of 2, even though it's only a field goal. So it's a 9-yarder, and he gets it. Oh, look at the distance on this kick. And it's no good.
Left.
He had enough distance to kick it in from 50, but it's wide left, and that gives Glassboro some hope. It's still 21-7, and they turn the ball over to the Bulldogs.
Well, they're still breathing here, and that's what they needed. Another score would be crucial for the Bulldogs' hopes to come back in this game.
He has a strong leg.
Strong leg.
My goodness.
The impressive thing is, like you were saying, he gets the ball so high into the air, so the chances for blocks, you really have to get in there.
That's the way I used to kick him when I drop kicked him in high school 50 years ago. You probably don't remember.
Oh, Bob, I don't remember, but I've heard you were an incredible drop kicker.
Great drop kicker. So Glassboro taking over from its own 20-yard line with a first down and 10. They're still very much in this game. More than capable of scoring a couple of touchdowns here in the fourth quarter. Wright fires it, and it's completed.
Getting to the outside with Matt Anuko. Nice job.
Anuko, who made the great throw to get them in position for the touchdown, now is on the receiving end of one, and he gets them a first down. And this is a very dangerous, multi-talented Glassboro team. Don't count them out. Plenty of time to go. 21-7 Red Raiders. Bulldogs trying to bounce back and get in. There's two wide receivers to the near side on a first down and 10 from the 30-yard line, right, rolling right. And he has a man open. Oh boy, he had Hughes wide open. That Sharper was beaten for one of the few times all day long, but well overthrown by Wright. Second down and 10.
Late coverage by the safety, Preston Paulson, coming over to try and give Sharper a hand, and Sharper was telling him about it. I needed some help on that play. Muse got behind him, and that if he was able to get the ball in Muse's hands, that's a touchdown there. Then again, we see Wright overshooting his receivers a little bit.
Second and 10. Ball at the 30.
They haven't used Kevin Evans out of the backfield on his screens. He picks up valuable yardage, and I think
the deficit, the big deficit, kind of took Evans out of the game, certainly from a rushing standpoint. Right, dropping back on almost every play. Great protection this time, going deep, looking for Holmes. Oh my, almost had it, and that was 6 points, but Holmes had beaten Sharper by just about a step on that play, and the ball just overthrown by inches.
You're right. A step is all that was, a step. And I'll tell you what, Terrence Holmes is catching that ball and going into the end zone. Has got the secondary, the defensive back kind of hung up in his own feet. Terrence Holmes, if he catches that, could have been in the end zone.
It's a big play here, third down and 10. If the Red Raiders hold, they're going to force a Glassboro punt. And Glassboro with only 10 minutes and 27 seconds to go cannot afford to give up the ball too often here in the fourth quarter. So a big third down play, third down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They're going to have to call a timeout, some confusion in the backfield, and I'm sure Bob Cleary did not want to see a timeout burned in that situation, but it was necessary because this is a big play coming up.
Big play, but right then, take a timeout. That's going to limit you later on in the game. They might need that timeout. Now on third down, what they've been doing most of the game is Wright's been dropping back, letting that secondary sag, and then taking off with the football. I'm sure Glenn Howard, as you take a look at him, is right now saying to his secondary is, listen, guys, make sure you keep an eye on what's going on and behind you, because either Kevin Evans could come out of the backfield like we've seen throughout his career, coming out of the backfield and making big things happen, or Wright taking off with the football. It's going to be really the responsibility of the linebackers, Tom Giorgiani and Ryan Kelly. And it's a tough assignment to try and chase him down from picking up the first down.
So they're ready to go. It's third down and 10 after the timeout by Glassboro. And don't forget Wright's ability to run with the football, a la Donovan McNabb when he gets in trouble. And this is one of those plays where if he can't find a receiver, you could see him run with the football. They're going to try a little gimmick play. There's Holmes with the ball. Then he's going to throw back, and he has Waters open, but he is met by three tacklers and will be short of the first down.
I think that ball was actually intended for Kevin Evans. He was behind Waters, waiting for the football. Waters was able to get the reception, but Evans with a heads-up play trying to block for him downfield. Nice job by Paulsboro, staying at home, staying in their lanes, making sure that they don't go for any kind of gimmick play.
So it's fourth down, and Glassboro apparently will be forced into a punting situation. They're going to go for it. Wow, look at this gamble. Fourth down and 7, and this could be the whole season right here for the Bulldogs. They're going to go for it. They don't make it as great field position for Paulsboro. Wright firing. Oh, what a gun, and he overshoots the receiver. looking for Holmes, and this will turn the ball over to Paulsboro. So Bob Curry gambled, Shawn, and lost this gamble because Paulsboro will have great field position.
And again, the arm strength of Wright getting a little too much on the football and not able to come up with a first down. Paulsboro takes over, and Glassboro's going to be forced to either try and get a turnover here or stuff Paulsboro on Paulsboro's lines.
I give him some credit, Shawn. I give Bob Curry credit on that play because he figures he's not going to get that many more possessions.
I totally agree with you.
I give him some credit.
I don't see a problem with that play because the way Paulsboro is handling the line of scrimmage.
Redmond slips one tackle, bowls ahead. There you saw the Redmond power in that play. Not a great gainer in the play, but he bowled ahead, carrying a couple tackles with him for a couple yards.
Yeah, he's just an outstanding player. The way he goes east and west and then turns it back upfield on the cuts, picks his spots. Very patient runner.
That's one of those.
Times he'll get 3-4 yards and then he'll pick up
good 2-yard runs. Second down and 8.
Pushing back the Paulsboro sidelines.
Official sideline warning issued by referee Joe Shirk. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. I don't know where the Paulsboro players are standing. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
He wasn't warning our John Mondelli, who's on the field.
Nah, John wouldn't get a warning. Second down and 8 for the Red Raiders. Redmond. And again, sliding for extra yards. Has Paulsboro completed a pass in this football game, Shawn?
They completed one pass earlier in the first half to number 20. That was Isaac Redmond out of the backfield. That was only a 3-yard completion. They really haven't had to. Their game plan was to come in here, pound the football with Redmond and Paterna, and it's worked effectively for them.
Third down and 6 for the Red Raiders. Trying to keep possession, trying to get another 4 downs, run the clock. And there's the option play, but it'll go nowhere. And nice job, good pursuit on the play by Chris Waters of Glassboro. Lots of help on the play as Pruitt, who's had a good football game, was over there. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 5. Another good defensive series here by the Bulldogs when Paulsboro had an excellent opportunity to get down in there close. So we'll see what the call is here by Glenn Howard.
I don't see Funk coming into the game, so I think they're going to go for it here on 4th and 5.
That would be a rather long field goal, but of course he has shown us a leg that I guess it could get it there from there. But they're going to go for it on 4th down and about 4.
Right, because you're not going to pick up much on a punt anyway if you did decide on kicking it away.
Dexter gets good protection, fires it, and overshoots the intended receiver, Lonnie Hampton, and that'll turn the ball over to Glassboro. So give these Bulldogs some credit. Down 21-0 at the half. They got one in the third quarter. Their defense has been real tough here in the second half after bending a couple occasions in the first half, and they still have a shot.
Oh, plenty of time. I said with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, they still have 2 timeouts. They need 2 scores. They can score in a hurry.
You know, I think we have to see Sakeen scramble once or twice here, too, just to keep that defense honest. He hasn't been running as much as he normally does, although at one point, according to our statistician, John Cobb, he had 56 yards rushing and at the same point, 35 yards passing. Take the handoff. Little screen pass to Evans, cutting back against the grain, and he's tripped up.
Well, I'll tell you what Paulsboro is doing defensively. They're really staying in their lanes. They're not over pursuing on any one of the ball carriers, whether it be Evans or Wright. And when you're staying home, Glassboro really doesn't have anywhere to go. They see a tackler there, here, and they're not able to cut back like they normally do against the other side of the field and make those big gainers.
Bill Damask with a real nice defensive play, 230-pound junior nose guard with the play on Evans that time. Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. Trying to get away from Mendenhall, and he can't. He cannot escape Mike Mendenhall. Mike Mendenhall will be honored at the Touchdown Club of Southern New Jersey Wednesday night, Shawn, as the Defensive Player of the Year in the 3-county area. And he's shown why today with he gets a sack on right this time.
Yeah, he does a lot of things well. I mean, from that defensive end position, we've already talked about the way he strings everything out. And you see the Paulsboro crowd who's really just waiting for the next 6:05 to expire and celebrate.
Santa Claus is coming to Paulsboro tonight too, Shawn. He's coming a little early today, it looks like, so far too. Out of the shotgun, right? Goes deep, fires it up in the air, and that's kind of up for grabs, and it's intercepted. That'll be the third pickoff of a right pass today. And that could have been the backbreaker for Glassboro. The ball goes right over the Red Raiders and try to run some clock.
That was Keros Cooper coming up. Keros Cooper. Actually, they have David Giles, 5'9", 155, coming up with the interception. That could be the backbreaker with now 5:44 left in the game. Here's the play, is Wright trying to make something happen with Muse. Throws the ball up, expecting his receiver to go up and get it. Muse just waited just a little bit too long to try and go for the football. A nice job by Cooper to come back and get the interception.
First and 10 ball at the 47-yard line of Paulsboro. They'll just run some clock now. Third interception of Wright today. That's very unusual. He came in the season with only 3 on the year. Paterna dropped after a couple of yard pickup on a nice defensive play by Ralph McBride of the Bulldogs.
Ralph McBride's a guy that Glassboro really liked after he's shown some really nice things in the preseason up against Hendrick Hudson earlier in the year when the team traveled to New York. Found himself in a starting position after a nice showing. Going to need a couple of big plays. Now Glassboro really needs a turnover here.
2nd and 8, gain of 2. Ball disc short of midfield. Paterna, and he will be tripped up. A nice shoestring tackle by Shamar Robinson. That's a name we've called often today. He's played a very nice game defensively.
Yeah, he sure has.
So the ball now into Glassboro territory, but a 3rd down and long, about a 6-7 yard gain needed for a 1st down. And again, Paulsboro has not needed to throw the football today. In a normal situation, they might want to try a screen here or do something, but I think they're more interested in just keeping the clock moving at this point with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the football game. And they run an end around with Cooper, and Cooper has some room and still on his feet, somehow gets up and gets some more yardage. When it looked like he was down, he'll get a 1st down carry. So a nice call there by Glenn Howard's staff to use the reverse, and it works nicely for a big 1st down gainer down to the 37-yard line.
It's Keros Cooper, who I mistakenly called David Giles earlier.
So a big 1st down carry. That buys Paulsboro 4 more downs and some time. Redmond straight ahead, and the interior of the Paulsboro offensive line doing the job there. The ball was down. Does it get turned over? Coming up with the ball was Rashawn Pruitt after the nice carry by Redmond. And it's Glassboro ball. So Redmond was down, or was not down. The fumble came out before he touched down, and Pruitt, who's had a nice ball game for the Bulldogs, comes up with it, and Glassboro is still alive with 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go.
3:27.
3:27. I'm having trouble reading that scoreboard.
Here you see Redmond with the carry, and the ball comes out. Shawn Pruitt coming up with it. So Glassboro has life.
And Wright is going to have to air it out. Pass to Evans, trying to get open. Evans open player, juking, trying to battle for extra yardage, but gets little yardage.
Paulsboro just doing a really nice job of tackling and also making sure they keep everything in front of them. One of the things we talked about is they're not giving up on the play, making sure that they're constantly going at the Glassboro ball carriers, not just allowing the teammates to tackle them one-on-one, really huddling and swarm tackling, and they've done that today.
2nd down and 6. Wright needs to go deep, but he'll run it this time, and he'll be tackled in the open field. Nice job by Redmond along with Joe Tropia.
That's a 1st down. They're going to need to keep it moving with 2:47 left.
So it's winding down for Glassboro. They're running out of time, 2:46 with the clock running, and they're going to have to get up to the line of scrimmage quickly, and Wright's going to have to throw it downfield. He has no other option. Paulsboro has done a tremendous job today of neutralizing Terrence Holmes as a receiver, best receiver in all likelihood in South Jersey, and they have really done a job on him today. Right? Listening, but he'll be tackled and the ball is loose.
Number 20, Isaac Redmond.
Redmond with another tackle in the open field. That'll be 2nd down. And now a minute, 1:55 to go. The clock running. Just that much left in the season. Paulsboro trying to complete an undefeated season and snap Glassboro's 22-game winning streak.
Looks like Wright
needs a miracle. Out of shotgun. He's going to have to fire it downfield, but can't find an open receiver. Still twisting, and oh, nice job. Great job there by Holmes. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. The receiver was Darren Lewis with an outstanding catch by Lewis. The ball at the 34-yard line with 1:24 to go. Glassboro needs to get up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry as they restart the clock. 1:20 to go. Again, out of shotgun. He'll try to throw it in the end zone. Onside kick, that's their only hope at this point. Right, lots of time. Again, chased out of the pocket, and he'll throw this one, and it's completed down inside the 10-yard line to Anuko.
And Anuko, nice job by catching the football, but why doesn't he get out of bounds on that play? Now with 1:02.
Ball at the 3-yard line. 1:02 to go. They'll be right up at the line of scrimmage, but they decide to call a timeout. There's still hope here for Glassboro. They can score. They can obviously try an onside kick, and they still have a shot. We're going to take time out from Paulsboro High School. It's 21-0 Red Raiders. Ball at the 2-yard line, 1:02 to go. Paulsboro 21, Glassboro 7. Bulldogs with a chance to get within a touchdown. Wright scrambling, looking for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. Sakeen Wright does it with 55 seconds to go. The Bulldogs not out of this one. It's 21-13. Holmes could make it 14. Then the certain onside kick. So this ball game is not over.
That'll be his 11th touchdown of the year on the ground. We have an injured Paulsboro player on the field. So what they'll need to try for this extra point, convert on it, and then get the onside kick.
Holloway, the injured player apparently for Paulsboro. So there are 55 seconds to go. Glassboro trailed 21-0 at halftime, scored early in the third to make it 21-7. They've pushed one in here again at the end to get it within 8 at 21-13. Holmes can make it 14, and then we know there'll be an onside kick, and who knows what can happen after that. You do not count out this Glassboro football team.
Now when you have Sakeen Wright, who has 54 touchdowns in a 2-year career and is second in South Jersey all-time. You have Terrence Holmes, who's second in South Jersey in touchdown receptions, behind Isaac Irby, who had 40. Now Holmes with 37 on the year, or 37 in a career where he'll play another year. So we should be able to break that next season.
They're going to go for 2. This is an interesting call. They're going for 2 points. Right. He's in. Is he in? Yes, he's in for the 2-point conversion. Boy, that's an interesting call by Bob Cleary. Terrence Holmes, one of the best place kickers in South Jersey. They go for 2 and they get it. Here it is, touchdown.
And what I think the reason why they're going for 2 is because they have the momentum right now. When you have them back on the ropes, let's go for 2. Let's try to get the win. We're able to pick up the onside kick. There you see Wright just using his sheer strength at 6'3", powering his way into the end zone.
So it's 21-15 after the 2-point conversion is good. How about these Bulldogs trailing 21-0 to a terrific football team at halftime? They bounced back to get within 6.
We promised you a good one here on Comcast Cable.
Maybe they
Vision Channel 43, and we're giving it to you.
Find David Akers in the stands to kick an onside kick here.
Bob, you're reading my mind. They need David Akers. That guy can really kick onside kicks with perfection.
They'll get all the good hands people in there for Paulsboro in this kickoff. I've seen Mendenhall in there. Shawn Redmond is up. Paterna's up in the front line.
Carlos Cooper.
They're going to put all the guys up there with the good hands because it is a certainty that there will be an onside kick here by the Bulldogs. And there's time. There's 55 seconds to go. I believe they have 1 timeout left.
Right now, Len Howard telling his line to move all the way over.
So the onside kicker for Glassboro will be Anuko. And here it comes. Anuko, and it does not go 10 yards, but I think there's offsides. They're going to call an offsides, and that's a break for Glassboro because now they'll kick it again. At least they get another shot.
But he had the right trajectory on that. If it would have bounced a couple more times, that's what you want.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
So they get to kick it again. That is a break because it did not go the necessary 10 yards.
What he wants to do is hit the top of that football, allow it to tumble a couple of times, and one of those receivers get their hands on it for the Glassboro Bulldogs.
And Anuko will try it again. And, the ball is loose. Do they Glassboro get it?
That ball dribbled past the 10-yard.
Well, they're still unraveling the pile here. We're not sure. Well, this is the call of the season right here, whether Glassboro has this football or not, and apparently they do.
Let's see if we can pick this up after they make the call.
Wow.
You're going to see it here. Now what happens? That ball doesn't travel the 10 yards. Paulsboro can go up and jump on it if they wanted to, but waiting for it, making sure that it did travel the 10 yards, and it comes up, and Glassboro able to jump on top of it and give them a chance now, Bob, with 55 seconds left.
Good chance. 55 seconds, the ball at the 45-yard line of Glassboro, so they have 55 yards to go in 55 seconds, and they have the most gifted quarterback in South Jersey to try to get them there. This football game not over. Everybody's standing on both sides of the field, right from shotgun. Chased out of the pocket and tripped up. And the ball is loose and picked up by Paulsboro. Picked up by Paulsboro. Red Raiders ball, and that should do it. Oh, wow. How about that turn of events? The Bulldogs get the ball back on the onside kickoff and turn it right back over to the Red Raiders in the next play. Now Paulsboro can just kneel on the football. Wow. Redmond with the recovery.
Sakeen Wright drops back. He's looking to try and make something happen again with his legs. Gets past the line of scrimmage, but as you see, trying to stretch for that extra yardage. Let's go with the football. You got to feel for that young man.
So Redmond, the sophomore with 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing with a big fumble recovery. Now Paulsboro can just kneel on it and run out the clock with 44 seconds to go. And that's exactly what Webster will do. Just as he goes down, he takes a pop.
What he was doing was stepping back with the football. He wasn't down. So it was a legal hit. That's why there was no flag.
Glassboro uses a timeout. I believe that's their last one.
It'll be their last one.
32 seconds left. This has been a kind of a bizarre football game. Totally dominated in the first half by Paulsboro. They led it 21-0. Glassboro has bounced back very nicely here in the second half with a couple of touchdowns. 21-15 they trail, but then the turnover after recovering the onside kick. They did everything right to give themselves a chance, then they turned it over.
Keen right on that sideline. Just see, you got to feel bad for that young man.
Yeah, he's had
really
such a great career. Of course, a young man with some physical problems when he was younger, could only play as a junior and a senior, and has had about as a remarkable back-to-back seasons as you will ever see in high school football. And I know he feels badly because he had a couple interceptions today, then the fumble loss there at the end, but played a good game nonetheless, and caps out his great career by playing in the sectional championship football game. Can't beat that for a great career.
So the Glassboro streak now will end at 22 games.
You know, that is the 11th longest streak in New Jersey history, 22 games. Of course, Paulsboro has the longest, 63 games.
That did surprise me at 22 games. They had the longest streak currently in the entire state of New Jersey. That all comes and ends today, and Paulsboro is working on another streak. And they will have a lot of these guys back next year. They will be another dominant team in the year 2001.
They could be a real powerhouse next year. Not that they weren't this year. Webster kneels right down. Clock running. Glassboro can no longer stop the clock. Paulsboro will just watch it tick down, and the Red Raiders will win the 12th sectional championship in Paulsboro high school history and dethrone an outstanding Glassboro team which won last year and has won 22 straight games up until this point. 7 seconds to go, and it's been a great football game, just as everybody anticipated. Give Glassboro a lot of credit in a losing cause. Final score, Paulsboro 21 and Glassboro 15. Paulsboro, the year 2000 sectional Group 1 champions. We'll be back with some interviews after this. Final score, Paulsboro 21, Glassboro 15, but Glenn Howard, it wasn't easy. You had them at 21-0 at halftime. There are a lot of teams that you would have buried at that point. They fought back. Great effort by Glassboro.
Yeah, Glassboro's had a great season, and they got a very fine ball club. And we knew they would come out the second half and give us everything they had, and that's what we told the kids at halftime. Try to play the game like it's 0-0, and, you know, we got to play a tough game the second half. It's not over.
12 sectional championship for Paulsboro, 7 for Glenn Howard coach teams, but this one may have been the sweetest for you, Glenn.
My first one ever was very sweet, but this one is right up there with all of them. After last season, going 6-4 and getting knocked out of the playoffs early, and you know the way we ended our season with a lot of guys banged up and not doing very well, that's not quite up to our standards. And we had a young team pretty much this year. We knew we would have the makings of a pretty decent team. We didn't know how good, but the guys worked hard in the off season, and they continue to work hard throughout the season, and they got better and better each week.
Great call at the end of the first half. You're up 14-0. Some of us thought you might sit on the ball, protect that 14-0 lead in the halftime. A bit of a gamble. What a great gamble was. Tell us about that play.
Well, that was a play we just put in yesterday. We had to play in, but it was a new formation. So Glassboro had never seen, and it's just a formation in a play that's designed basically to get 1 or 2 yards. And Dave Paterno made a great run. He broke a tackle at about 2 or 3 yards, and they had nobody else back, and he outran the guys to the goal line.
But one of the keys of the game was you really did a great job of neutralizing Terrence Holmes. You really didn't getting the ball downfield.
Well, we knew Holmes and Evans and Sakeem Wright were the 3 main guns, and we focused on trying to limit those guys and not give them big plays. We knew they were too good and they would get something, but we didn't want them to burn us, you know, for 50, 60-yard touchdowns, and I think we did a pretty good job on that.
You have a lot of heroes in this team, a lot of unsung heroes. Dave Paterno is a guy that really did the job all season long and again today.
I just thank God for all of these guys. I can't say enough about all of them. My heart goes out to them. They're very special to me. We got a lot of great guys on this team. Dave Paterno, he didn't get much credit and stuff this year. He blocked for Isaac a lot, but he's always there running the ball tough and blocking when we need him, and he's a tough ball player. That's Paulsboro football.
Glenn, thanks a lot. Congratulations on number 7 for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Shawn.
All right, thanks, Bob. I'm here with one of the offensive stars of the game, Dave Paterno. You actually had the winning touchdown right before halftime. Your touchdown stands up as the winner. Tell me a little bit about that play. It seemed like you were just going to go for the first down, but you ended up getting a big gainer.
Well, last night we had put the play in. We had pulled out Isaac Redmond, put Tommy G on our backup center and Zach, which was only to get like 2-3 yards just to get the first down if we needed it. But I hit the hole hard. Somebody got me by ankle, broke off, and I ran for the touchdown.
This was your chance as a senior to come away with a championship ring. Obviously against Glassboro, this is a big win for you. As both teams coming in and undefeated. Now that you walk off a winner, how does it feel to be a champion as a senior?
It feels great. I've been playing for about 13 years now, and it's my first championship ever. So it feels great for me.
You had a special game ball that you gave out to Anthony Esposito. Tell me about that moment when the coach gave him the game ball. How emotional was it for you guys?
It was a real emotional moment because it's been nice to have him in the game. But during the bad things, the West Effort game, we had Frank Collin come in, and he stepped up pretty good, but we really did miss Espa.
Okay, well, I'm here with the offensive star of the game. Now I have the defensive star of the game, and that is Mike Mendenhall. Mike, you were all over the field today.
It's a great feeling coming out here, playing hard, and it's a great team effort. We work for it all season and working for double sessions. That's what we work for. We take it one step at a time. That was our goal. Take it one game at a time, and we could do this.
It seemed like your game plan was to come in and make sure that Wright didn't get outside and containment and really make those busted plays into big plays.
Yeah, we knew we had to contain him. They make some big plays. If we contain him, maybe get in his face, make him throw some balls out that we could pick off, and thank God we did get some interceptions that came up big.
This has got to feel great for you guys to come out and beat a team like Glassboro and really hold those big three down to minimal gains.
Yeah, I think we were considered an underdog coming in here with them having a 21-0 record, 21 winning streak, and I knew we'd come out here and get in their face from the first quarter, all 4 quarters. We can come out here with a win. We had it in us.
Congratulations to both you and Dave Paterno and Bob. Here we are with a game that we really thought was going to really come to fruition. A team such as Glassboro and Paulsboro's caliber really fighting and coming to a close game. Although it looked like it was going to be a blowout 21-0, Glassboro had the fortitude to come back and make a game of it.
Well, they proved they're a great football team, Glassboro did, Shawn, because Paulsboro, with the kind of a team it is, it wears you down, powerful team, hard-hitting team, they would have annihilated a lot of teams in the second half after that kind of a lead. Glassboro battled back, made a great game of it. They had a chance at the end. I mean, that was what was kind of amazing to me. They go for the 2-point conversion, so if they score the touchdown and kick the 1-point conversion, then they win the football game. But great job by Glassboro. Great job by both teams. You know, you expected a good high school football game. Sometimes these kind of games that are much ballyhooed don't work out the way you expect them to, but this one did. It was a great game.
Yeah, they started out with a big 21-point lead, but the job that they did to come back and the career that they put together, Kevin Evans, Sakeen Wright, they have nothing to hang their heads low about. An outstanding football game as we expected. Glassboro able to do it in the second half, but comes up a little bit short. A nice football game. Paulsboro's going to be ready for it again next year. They have a lot coming back. I want to just say to the crew who did an outstanding job all year long. Darren Leary, my younger brother, did a great job with the graphics, and he really needs some encouragement and build him up a little bit because he just did an outstanding job with the stuff that he was able to do this year. For
crew number one, as always. It was a great football game, and we enjoyed it. The final score again: Paulsboro 21. And Glassboro 15. Shawn, nice working with you. This game, incidentally, has been brought to you in part by Pandolfo Chiropractic and Thoroughfare. Get back to health with Pandolfo Chiropractic, and by the McBride Foley Funeral Home in Paulsboro, serving all faiths with respect. Paulsboro wins the NJSIAA Group 1 Championship for the 12th time, 7th time in Glenn Howard's regime. Thanks for watching on Comcast.